Hey everyone from Universal Orlando. We are back with another Halloween Horror Nights update this week. We didn't have one last week because we were away on a cruise and we missed so many things. We missed the final two house announcements. There's been a ton of construction updates and progress made on the scare zones inside of the park. There's been a lot of new merchandise that's been released as well. So we have a lot of catching up to do today. So let's not waste any more time. We're gonna head inside of Universal Studios Florida and show you what's going on for HHN. We can now officially say this. Halloween Horror Nights is this month. So before we make our way into the park, let's talk about the houses that were announced last week. The first one being Five Nights at Freddy's, officially confirmed as a house. We all knew it, but now it's official. Can you survive 5 nights at Freddy's? Get ready for the night watch at a creepy abandoned pizzeria where nothing is what it seems and possessed animatronics are lurking. Freddy and the gang are dying to meet you. You wouldn't last 1 night at Freddy's, let alone 5. You're about to be hunted by deadly animatronics Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy as you flee through creepy abandoned hallways. And then the next one, which I am so excited for, is The Horrors of the Wyatt Sicks. Fear is the main event. Go head to head with the Wyatt Sicks as they lure you through the ominous doorway to their shadowy realm. You're about to meet your match. It's the fight of your life. Enter the eerie arena of the Wyatt Sicks, where you'll go through an ominous doorway into the maniacal minds of Uncle Howdy, Rambling Rabbit, Mercy the Buzzard, Abby the Witch, and Huskus the Pig. The WWE has been such a divisive topic within the HHN community. You have non-wrestling fans who think this has no place at the event, and then you have wrestling fans like myself who are super excited to see this house. And I said this in a previous HHN video, but I am gonna be doing a full deep dive into the Wyatts and everything you need to know before you go into this house. All I'll say is if you're not a fan, before you watch that video that I put out, which will come out next week, go and watch the Peacock documentary on Bray Wyatt, because it truly is horror. Like the Wyatts and Bray Wyatt's legacy is more horror than things like Fallout or probably even Five Nights at Freddy's. So all I'll say is just give it a shot. And if you have no interest in the WWE at all, just treat this as an original house, because the story and how it plays out on wrestling and these characters has a very HHN original house feel. So that's all I'll say. Just give it a shot. We stopped over in the Five and Dime to check out the merchandise for WWE and Five Nights at Freddy's. There's not a lot of merch left at the moment. There's a couple of Freddy shirts, but they're mostly extra smalls and smalls. But here's what the design looks like. I do like how it has Halloween Horror Nights inside of the TV. I haven't been crazy about where they've been placing the HHN logo on the past couple of shirts, but I do like that a lot. And then here's a look at the completed stained glass piece. I don't see any of the Freddy Fazbear pieces or the Fiend pieces. I'm gonna go ask at the register, but as of today, which is Sunday, it looks like they are out of those, but they will definitely restock. I don't see any of these on display either, so these ones definitely went really quick, but this was the Wyatt Sicks shirt, and this was the back of it. The front on the chest had like the Wyatt Sicks logo with the bird, and then on the back you have the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, with the Let Me In. Really wanted to pick the shirt up, so maybe I'll go over to Islands and see if they have it at the All Hallows Eve boutique, but they don't have any here right now. So aside from the new houses merchandise, they dropped an entire new line for Mel's. It looks like they have a little Mel's die-in or drive-in keychain. Here's a Mel's pin right there. We're dying to serve you. They did restock the Mel shirts. These were out from what I saw on Instagram, but there's a couple of sizes here. Right now it's just smalls and extra larges, but keep checking. They definitely will restock these as the days and weeks go on, but the design on this is so cool. Good times, great food. Mel's die-in. We are dying to serve you with the address on it. And this shirt also glows in the dark, and it's $33. For $25, they have this mirrored sign, which is the same design that is on the shirt. For $8, they have this Mel's die-in decal set. And then for $75, they have this Mel's die-in like denim backpack, and I love the character design on it. You got one of the waitresses. She has roller skates on. She's serving a head with some hamburgers and fries on it, and then the back says Halloween Horror Nights right there on the bottom with the blue and white checkered straps. really digging this line. I think everything that they put out so far is really, really good. Also, by the way, while I was standing here filming all this, a team member came out and restocked the shirts. So right now, they have everything from small all the way up to 3X, but there's just a couple of each size. And then for $33, there's this new Lil Boo t-shirt. There's Lil Boo right there. It says Realm of the Pumpkin. For $40, they have these Lil Boo leggings. You can see it's got the words Lil Boo on it. There's some spider webs, gargoyles. For $28, they have this Lil Boo sign. It might be a little bit hard to tell on camera, but as you kind of move it, it looks like he's blinking. They also have this new Lil Boo backpack, which is pretty cool. Let's see. On the back, it says Lil Boo. This is $60. And the straps have the vines on it. And then there's another Lil Boo shirt as well. Also says Realm of the Pumpkin on the bottom, but it has a gargoyle sitting on top of Lil Boo right here, and this is $25. So I asked the team member behind the register if they had any. I don't know, maybe if they had some like behind the cash register where you could just ask for it. They've been out of the Wyatt piece as well as the Freddy Fazbear little icon for the stained glass window since the day that those IPs were announced. So if you don't think WWE is going to be popular this year, there is not a single Wyatt Sicks shirt. There's no stained glass piece, and the Freddy stuff is running really, really low. But don't worry, because they will definitely restock those. It took a little while for the Jason pieces and the Jason shirts to get restocked. So probably like sometime next week, as long as there's no like shipping issues or anything, those will probably be back. So we normally start over in Hollywood. We head that way, but we're going to be starting over here in the Welcome Scare Zone, which is Origins of Horror. There's set pieces that have popped up over here right in front of the Universal store and across from the Today Cafe. I'm assuming that this is going to be for like the statues of what the artists carve, because in the description of this scare zone they said that artists will be carving tributes to HHN 34. So maybe on these little platforms is where like there'll be a little scene where the artist is actually carving that. We'll see, but we got pieces out here. There's another one right in front of VillainCon, across from Minion Mayhem. So ladies and gentlemen, this scare zone is gonna be going into Minions. I could already see other set pieces. Oh my gosh. And we are gonna have a proper scare zone once again. It's been a couple of years, a few years at least, since we've had props over here by Minions. There was a long time rumor that they wouldn't be able to do it anymore because of the whole DreamWorks thing and the whole Minion overlay in this land, but we got some big set pieces over here. And maybe I take back what I said. Maybe this is gonna be where the statue that the artists are carved on. This looks like the perfect platform for a statue. You can see some like iron gates over here too. There's some vines in the background. There's stained glass. Of course, this is all tied into the conservatory theme for this year. And because this is obviously all dilapidated, you can see some of the stained glass pieces are broken. I'm just so excited that we're finally gonna have a proper welcome scare zone again. So at the moment, there are 3 of these. There's one right in front of Minion Mayhem. There's one across the way, right underneath the Vicious Six sign in front of the old Shrek 4D. And then there's another one right over here too. They're all very similar. It's the basically exact same thing, but this one has a speaker, the other one didn't. But this is just so awesome. I'm so excited because when I saw those lights, I'm like, I don't think those lights were up on these buildings for previous HHNs, at least in the last few years. And it turns out we were right. So yeah, this looks the same as the other one. My guess, forget what I said a couple of minutes ago, I think this is where those like carvings are gonna go. So we'll probably see maybe like the IPs each have their own like little stand, which would be pretty cool. And then for good measure, here is the third one. So right now there are 3 of them out. Like I said, they're all basically the same. And there's a look back at what exists right now. You have those 3 big ones that I just showed you. And then over here, as we start to make our way towards Bake My Day, the little store over there, there's another one too. So they got this one. This one also has a pedestal on it. So yeah, these are definitely gonna be where all the IP carvings are gonna be going. If my memory's correct, this is gonna be the first time, I believe, since 30 Years, 30 Fears that we had like a proper welcome scare zone. Because the last few years just really haven't been all that good. The whole Sinister and Surreal thing was very lackluster last year. The Oddfellow one had some set pieces, but it really didn't go as far as like where the Wicked tribute store is right now. But now we're gonna finally have a proper welcome scare zone. And I'm so excited. Like, this might sound like crazy to some people that are watching this, but that first scare zone sets the tone for the entire event. And now that like it's gonna be a true scare zone and not just like a couple of random people walking around, I'm really, really excited. And don't forget, if you're an annual pass holder, stop by the Tonight Shop over here or the Pass Holder Lounge if you're on the island side, because there's a brand new button for the month of August. They're continuing the Epic Universe series, and this month's is the Burning Blade Tavern. So there's going to be some big changes to the stay-in-screen process for HHN 34, according to a couple of posts from a travel agency. These have been circulating on Facebook, and it says if you have a Halloween Horror Nights ticket and a daytime ticket for the same day, you can now enjoy the entire Universal Studios Florida park during the day to evening transition. Here's how it works. Starting at 3 p.m., you can get wristbands at 3 convenient locations: Lombard's, Minion Cafe, or Villain Con Minion Blast. At 4 p.m., the house queues open, allowing you to be first in line. You can experience houses like Fallout opening at 5:15, then move to Terrifier at 5:30 without waiting for security sweeps. So other than Origins of Horror in the front, the next scare zone we are going to walk through is Mutations Toxic 20s. No real updates other than the fact that they took away the yellow cab that was sitting there after they moved it over from the front of the park, but I'm not noticing much of anything going on. The lighting looks basically the same. There's not any props out just yet. So this scare zone is definitely the most far behind in terms of like big set pieces, but this scare zone also has the most set pieces that are not out during the day that they bring out at night. And there was a picture that BioReconstruct posted on Twitter that shows a couple of like old-timey cars. So those are definitely gonna be coming out in this scare zone. So we'll see what else pops up over the next couple of weeks. So Five Nights at Freddy's was announced as a house, but it also is coming to the event with other experiences. We don't know what that is yet. People have talked about the Red Coconut Club getting an overlay for Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know if they're gonna do that because the Coconut Club definitely skews towards like an older crowd because it's a bar. But something that I think would actually be pretty cool would be if they turn Louis Pizza into Freddy Fazbear's and brought back scare actor dining, but just with the Five Nights at Freddy's like animatronic characters. I don't know how they would pull it off because those costumes are probably really big. I don't think it would be easy for them to kind of maneuver around, but maybe there's like a stationary place where you can kind of go and meet, you know, Freddy and, you know, all the other characters from the video games and the movies. I don't know what else they would do though. Like, to me that makes sense. Pizza, Louis, Freddy Fazbear's, just make it a Five Nights at Freddy's overlay. People would definitely eat that up, no pun intended. That would sell out really, really quick. Made my way back into San Francisco where the little DJ area's gonna be. This is gonna be Club Horror. Not seeing a whole lot new versus the last time. No theming or anything along those lines added to the rumored DJ platform. They did add some moving heads up on the truss, but that's about it. I don't know how much theming this area is gonna have because it is rumored to just be that like DJ dance party area. So this kind of might be it, along with like maybe a couple small set pieces and then obviously the scare actors, but not seeing anything new versus last week. So rehearsals have officially began. The Fuel Girls arrived over from the UK last week and they're working in there. Not at this moment, I don't hear anything. Maybe they are in there, but they have now barricaded off this entrance over here so you can't get over or can't get any closer to the Fear Factor stage than where I'm standing right now. I know a lot of people use this to like either breastfeed or some people would smoke here, although I don't think you're supposed to be doing that. But this whole area is now barricaded off. Came to check up on the latest of the Hatchet and Chains facade. It looks like it's pretty much done. They've painted it brown. They've added some distressing. It looks really, really good. And then the Dolls Let's Play Dead looks basically the same, but BioReconstruct posted a photo where you can see the front of it now. It is a blue dollhouse, and then it does have the Dolls Let's Play Dead logo, like the key art, to the left of the roof line. So it's coming along. My mind is blown. I just walked backwards through the Catlady of Crooked Lane scare zone. So like not the way you're supposed to go through it. I came from the other way, like from Springfield. This might be the best scare zone in a very, very long time. I mean, half this video could be spent just looking at the props in there. So just let's go take a look because you guys have to see this for yourself. So much has changed in the last week since we were here. I mean, there is just so many different things they've added. You could already see on this pillar, They've added some garland and some vines. They've added some plants over here too. Just wait till you see once we get inside. It is just insane what they added. So they did add the gates. So this is definitely what we thought they were gonna do because they had the two little brackets over there on the side. They've got a bunch of different like vines and leaves. Here's the opposite side, same gate, but just super, super heavily themed. And that's like the story for this entire scare zone. I don't know if I've ever seen this much like props or decorations in a scare zone ever. Like at least in the few years that we've been coming to HHN, maybe some like old school fans would remember, but there's just so much. Okay, so we're gonna go kind of piece by piece and just kind of scan through. There's a lot of like old timey classic Halloween / fall decorations, like the scarecrow. This is something you would find in like Home Goods or like Hobby Lobby, but they obviously, you know, aged it, made it look dilapidated. There's a bunch of these like paper Halloween decorations, all classic Halloween, which I love this aesthetic. You have the black cats, the ghosts, this little Frankenstein bucket, kind of reminds me of like McDonald's buckets. Got some more cats over here. Bat cats, forget Batilda. We have Bat Cat. There's just so much. These little like creepy jack-o'-lanterns. Over here, you have this black cat, which they've added some like aging and distressing to. Looks really, really cool. Looks like spiky too. You can see like all the hair standing up. And then yeah, there's just a ton of like classic Halloween decorations here. So this is gonna be like a classic Halloween scare zone. Obviously, there's a story to it, which we'll show you in a second. But just look at all this stuff. It's just so cool. And this is just like one little section. There's just stuff all over the place. It's like they went into like a store and just bought everything they had. You could see that these props have been here for a long time. So the premise of this is like kids enter this way. They enter Crooked Lane on Halloween night, trick-or-treaters, and then they obviously don't ever make it out because the cat lady got to them. You can see how old these bikes are. Here's some more of the props and decorations that they have out. Again, it's just like a mishmash of all these different things. You have barrels, baskets, you have a little tricycle over here. This cute like Halloween tin with like a broken skeleton coming out of it. Enter if you dare. Here's some more props. This is outside of the NBC Media Center. They have like these barrels, this old like treasure chest. You can see this clown outfit, a random pink flamingo for some reason. Yeah, it's just like a mishmash of all these like different things. Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. But yeah, it's just kind of like you wandered into this like abandoned lane with like relics from years past. And here's the signs of the trick-or-treaters. You have a backpack right here, a really old decaying backpack. You got a pair of jeans with a bunch of rips in them. And not only rips, you can see that these are slashes, like these are claw marks. So obviously the cats got to this kid. You can see that. Here's a mask. I believe this is supposed to be a mask. Or maybe it's like the top half of a trick-or-treat bucket. Some more costumes over here, the little clown hat. Here's another, like, I don't even know what this is. Is this it's like a worm tricycle. Here's another bike along this fence line. And yeah, this is just filled with like a bunch of tchotchkes, like old-timey decorations, random things, tennis rackets, more bikes. It's gotta be the most like random assortment of things I've ever seen. So like I said, they have these giant like children's book pages that tell the story, and you could read this like in chronological order from both ways. So if you enter from Battery Park or if you come from the back by Animal Actors, you could still read these. So it says, deep in a forest on Halloween night, the trick-or-treaters follow moonlight, the naughty children that dare to explore the old crooked lane along the forest floor. Cat eyes and pumpkins line the dim trail to the cat lady's house, so withered and frail. So as we get a little bit deeper into the scare zone, as we're getting closer to the cat lady's house, you can actually see some cat-related props, like this giant ball of yarn. Then over here on the opposite fence line, there's even more yarn. In our last video, we went through this giant wood structure, kind of talking about maybe what it could be. And there's more props that have been added. There's a giant cat scratcher with a little ball. There's a cat toy. There's a rat down there, and then this looks like it's a rat of some sort. So maybe it's just like a giant hairball. I can't really tell. Usually if it's like something gruesome, they'll cover it up, but I think this is supposed to be just a big hairball that's on the floor. And then up over here, there's a giant ball of yarn with the strings. You can see like one of the feather toys, like the cat feather toys over there. And then they added a couple more things in here. And I'm really curious, like, what is this? Like, I'm assuming there's gonna be scare actors that are coming out because they've added like some mesh and things along those lines. But it'd be interesting to see. You got another cat scratcher over here with a little ball for a cat to play with. Some more yarn, some more cat toys. I love how they have these giant cat toys because the cat lady turns the kids into cats. So they're obviously bigger than like a regular cat. This is just so cool. My hype level for the scare zone has gone up tremendously. And this might be my new #1 most hyped scare zone. I know we gave our rankings, but now that I see the props, this looks awesome. And then speaking of looking awesome, here is the cat lady's house at the end of Crooked Lane. The last time we were here, this was just a giant truss structure, but you can see they've added the siding, they've added the windows to the front. The front door is currently just kind of cracked open just a little bit, but this thing is massive. I don't know if video like does this justice or not, just to give you the sense of like scale. I mean, this thing is huge and is one of the coolest scare zone props I've ever seen. I guess for a scale comparison, here's like the top of the pole. This house goes like a little more than halfway up this pole. This thing is absolutely huge. Here's the back side of the house. There's the little door or the little entryway for the scare actor to go in and out. And at first I thought that the siding was like almost like a vinyl sticker, but this blue is actually painted on. Like this is, you know, like wood pieces, and all of this blue is actually painted. From a distance, it kind of looks like, you know, they would just stick it on like big giant sticker pieces. But as you get closer, you can see that this was actually painted on the wood. That is just incredible. This is one of the reasons why I love Halloween Horror Nights so much. Like they could have easily put like vinyl stickers on the side of this and saved themselves like all that manpower and actual like labor that goes into this, but this is why Universal's HHN is what it is, because they do things like this for something that lasts 2 months. There's so much going on in the scare zone, I almost totally forgot to point out that there are pumpkins all in the trees. It might be a little bit hard to see on that side because of the way the sun's hitting, but look at all these pumpkins in the trees. I don't know if Lil Boo is in here or not. Gonna have to kind of go around and see if we can find him one of these days. Not gonna do it today, but yeah, this is gonna be so cool at night. All the pumpkins in the trees. I'm just picturing like the ambiance with all the fog rolling in. It's gonna be so good. That was so cool. I mean, like I said, that definitely moves up my hype list now, I think to my #1 spot, just because of all the props. Like the New York Scare Zone Mutations, because it has the bugs and the BuzzCon tie-in. That was my like #1 hype scare zone, but after seeing what they did over there, amazing. I mean, I don't remember being that excited for a scare zone and just being this pumped up while walking through and seeing the progress 3 weeks before the event starts. I don't know ever. Maybe the first year that we came, just because this was like totally brand new to us and we've never experienced anything like it before, but they did a fantastic job in there. So I can't wait to see what the rest of the set pieces they've added. I can't wait to see the lighting packages. Can't wait to see the costumes, what the cats look like. It's gonna be good. So we have one more scare zone to go through, which is gonna be here in Hollywood. It is Masquerade. They've got the theming now on this giant set piece. I remember seeing just the truss, which is inside of there somewhere. So on this one over here, which is the first stage you're gonna encounter if you're coming from Cafe La Bamba, they added these giant candles. And this has just absolutely beautiful distressing on it. Awesome craftsmanship on all the staging on here. So you have some candles up at the top. You can see the wax dripping off of those. Those same candles are over here on the sides as well. So you have one on that side and then one on the other side with another giant candle, you know, flanking the stage. Next one up over here is in front of Schwab's Pharmacy. And also they have new, like, Pardon Our Dust signs. These are a little bit different than what they normally put out, and they've added the world's premiere Halloween event on here as well. So they definitely upgraded the signs, but over here it looks like there's a bunch of drink glasses, like a fountain of drinks. over here. Trying to see if I see any like trigger pedals or anything else just yet, but I don't. This one has those same candles, one on each side, and then the smaller ones in the back over there. This one over here basically has the same updates. You got those candles that they've added. All the flooring is done. Oh, I do see a trigger pedal. Okay, so this one's just kind of out in the open right there. I wonder if they're gonna add something else on this stage, like a set piece in the middle or something, kind of like that drink table that's on the other one, to maybe hide that. But there's our first trigger pedal, at least that I was able to see. And then lastly, this one, which is right in front of the broadcast center where they do the podcasts. I see a trigger pedal back there too. So 2 of them have trigger pedals, and then they've added all of the candles to each of the stages. And then they have those big gates kind of welcoming you into the scare zone over here at the front. So I'm assuming they are gonna add a second one, because why would they have 2 on one side and then only 1 on the other side? But these just look so good. It is about to rain soon. It's starting to drizzle right now, but I am making my way over to Islands of Adventure because the team member told me to check out the All Hallows Eve boutique to see if they had the last 2 pieces for the little stained glass frame as well as the Wyatt shirt. So I'm gonna walk over there. Fingers crossed they have it. All right, we made it over here. Moment of truth. They do have the sign out front for Five Nights at Freddy's, but let's go in and see if they have our stuff. All right, we are 1 for 1 so far. They do have the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, so we definitely need that. This is $8. Now let's go see if they have Freddy. They also have more sizes in the Five Nights at Freddy shirts. They have extra small, smalls, mediums, large, XL, 2XL, and 3XL. So they have basically every single size and a few of each. So not only do they have the Fiend piece, they also have Freddy Fazbear, and they have every single one. So they have all 5. And there's plenty of them here. So like I said, don't even waste your time going at the Five and Dime because they're very, very hit or miss. They're fully stocked at the boutique. So over here at the boutique, they only have extra smalls and smalls, but here is the WWE Wyatt Sicks shirt. Now again, they didn't have any of these over at the Five and Dime. I think I actually see 1 medium over there too. So 1 medium, and then mostly extra smalls and smalls. This is the front. And then here's a look at the back with the Fiend Bray Wyatt on it. Let me in. Really cool. Hopefully they restock these because I definitely need this because I am not only a huge WWE fan, but I'm a massive, massive Bray Wyatt fan. So have to get this once they restock. All right, so we got 2 out of the 3 things that I wanted. We got to see all of the construction updates that we missed while we were away on our cruise. Everything looks really, really good. And like I said, we are just over 3 weeks away from the start of Halloween Horror Nights, which is crazy to say. I remember just talking about the first spec map, making that video, and here we are covering like the tail end of the construction progress. Still a lot of things to put out and see. So if you guys enjoyed coming along with me today for this week's HHN update, make sure you give the video a nice big thumbs up. We'll be back again next week to cover everything that happens between now and then. And in the meantime, you're gonna get 5 Disney cruise vlogs every single day this week from Tuesday all the way through Saturday. So I hope you guys enjoy those. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss out on all of our HHN content to come in the future. And with that being said, we'll see you guys real soon.